What's going on, guys? It's your boy John, the Liquidator, coming back with another video. So it looked like Caitlin Clark is opening up about the Fever defense and pretty much her style of defense moving forward. Now, we know the Indiana Fever is pretty much a defensive-based team. Stephanie White focused heavily on the defense last year, and hopefully we get a 2026 season, man. There really just has not been any leg room with this CBA negotiation. Now, Caitlin Clark has been making her rounds online as well, making headlines after saying different things about current events that has been happening. And this is what I like to see from Caitlin, man. I really like to see her online engaging with.
It was a public spectacle. The internet exploded, and the deafening quiet from the Indiana Fever front office spoke volumes. Caitlin Clark, the league's undisputed scoring titan, appeared to launch a direct strike at her own coaching staff, sparking a controversy that now threatens to tear the team apart from within. This wasn't a private grievance whispered behind closed doors. It was a raw, unfiltered declaration for the world to see, revealing a shocking disconnect at the heart of Indiana's strategy. Almost immediately, questions arose. How long can a generational talent endure a system that seems to stifle her brilliance? This was no casual comment. It was a landmark moment, one that could redefine the franchise's future.
Making headlines after saying different things about current events that has been happening. And this is what I like to see from Caitlin, man. I really like to see her online engaging with fans, engaging with other athletes, because it really helped the genre and really keep her hype alive. We know lately, previously, she was kind of quiet online, but like, for example, the national championship football game is today, and Caitlin Clark commented and reposted a TikTok about Indiana wide receiver Elijah, who revealed he named his dog CC after Caitlin Clark, showing love and support for the Indiana Hoosiers this upcoming.
The clear target of Clark's pointed remark was Brianna January, an assistant coach celebrated league-wide for her legendary defensive prowess. A 7-time WNBA All-Defensive honoree, January had recently shared a post about mentoring young players, spotlighting grueling defensive drills. Clark reposted it with a cutting caption, "I know she had these poor kids just grinding through defensive slides for hours." Suddenly, what might have seemed like a casual jab revealed a deeper, more fundamental rift within the organization. This wasn't playful banter. It was a superstar openly challenging the very backbone of her team's coaching philosophy, and it ignited an immediate firestorm.
She's named after CC. Now, Caitlin Clark, we all know, went to Iowa, and Iowa been killing it right now in women's basketball, but she's starting to show love, man. Indiana is really starting to grow on her. She said, hope he scores 3 touchdowns Monday night. Big Indiana fan Monday night. So Caitlin Clark let the world know she's going to be a big Indiana fan this upcoming Monday night. So this is the dog right here, CC, and I think it's dope. I think it's dope that they're working together. I think it's dope that Caitlin Clark is actually acknowledging the Indiana college football team. Now, she did speak about the Bears, which is crazy because I'm actually in Chicago.
This public confrontation was far from an isolated incident. It laid bare a deeper philosophical clash at the heart of the Indiana Fever. Head coach Stephanie White has long defined her teams by a defense-first ethos. Yet for an offensive prodigy like Clark, whose genius thrives on pace, spacing, and creative latitude, that rigid framework can feel suffocating. The friction between a transcendent offensive star and a system anchored in defense had been quietly simmering, and Clark's comment ripped the veil off entirely. It's a fundamental misalignment, one that makes the current setup almost untenable for any player, particularly for an athlete whose impact on the game is already nothing short of historic.
Clark could be calling out Stephanie White, man. Caitlin Clark has joked about one of her Indiana Fever coaches' emphasis on defense, bruh. It's that it's hard to poke holes in Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark game. Despite being just 23 years old, she is one of the most talented offensive weapons in all of basketball, men's or women. I repeat, that is men's or women's, when she's healthy and able to compete. Now, we do know Caitlin Clark went down in July, and we have not seen Caitlin Clark on a basketball court.
Clark's biting comment carried added weight because her defense has long been under the microscope. Fans and analysts have repeatedly scrutinized her effort on that end of the floor, highlighting lapses in awareness and easy points allowed, flaws often overshadowed by her offensive dominance. That scrutiny amplifies the tension when her coaches seem laser-focused on the very area where she is most exposed. It creates a delicate, uneasy dynamic, one that raises real questions about whether the staff is truly leveraging her unparalleled talents or, by clinging too rigidly to philosophy, inadvertently magnifying her vulnerability.
For women's, when she's healthy and able to compete. Now, we do know Caitlin Clark went down in July, and we have not seen Caitlin Clark on a basketball court since July, bruh. I just gotta be honest. A lot of people have definitely been feeling a type of way about that, dealing with these negotiations, dealing with us possibly seeing Caitlin Clark. Will we see her? A lot of fans have invested their life into this young lady. Even me, you know what I'm saying, just reporting on her every day. It'll just be doing us a disservice if Caitlin Clark is not able to play for the 2026 season. But the article goes,
adding fuel to the fire is Clark's history with turnovers, a shadow that has followed her since the start of her WNBA career. High-profile critics, including voices like Skip Bayless and Jason Whitlock, have repeatedly highlighted how those mistakes can come at a steep cost. In a system that struggles to accommodate her instinctive decision-making or her fast-paced, high-risk, high-reward style, that issue is only magnified. When a player's offensive genius is simultaneously scrutinized and constrained, frustration is inevitable, and a public confrontation starts to feel less like a shock and more like the predictable culmination of mounting tension.
Say that Caitlin Clark is the perfect basketball player. She sometimes forces things that aren't there. Now, if you guys don't remember, Caitlin Clark was leading the WNBA in turnovers for quite some period of time. I believe Skip Bayless actually talked about this before before Undisputed was pulled off the air, how her turnovers was pretty much costly to the team. I remember we talked about this when I was on Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock was another person in the media space that kind of spoke about Caitlin Clark turnovers being an issue. Goes on to say, isn't a developed
Brianna January's standing as a defensive powerhouse is indisputable. Her distinguished WNBA career, built on elite, lockdown defense, has earned her multiple all-defensive team honors. For Clark to publicly mock January's defensive drills carries significant weight. It's essentially a challenge to the authority and expertise of a highly respected veteran coach. This goes far beyond a minor spat. It's a direct clash with the team's established defensive identity, raising serious questions about alignment, mutual respect, and a shared vision, issues that grow increasingly critical as the franchise approaches the high-stakes 2026 season.
Beyond that, the article goes on to say, in fact, Clark has gotten some criticism from fans about being a loaf on defense in the past, which has led to her falling asleep at the end and allowing easy buckets. Most superstar players, besides like Kobe and Michael Jordan, typically don't play defense, man. Sometimes LeBron, you will see him running down the court beating balls off the hoop, but he loafs too, bro. It's just part of the game when you got offensive players like that. Steph Curry really ain't a big defender either. Goes on to say, it seems that she doesn't emphasize this component of her game, and this is surely to the charging of Brianna